Let's look at some of the other features and functions that are available in the diary. I'm going to assume that you've watched the diary function video, which if you've not already, if you go to our website and look at the Professional Plus Edition pages, and you'll see that on the diary and scheduling section there's a video called Diary Function. I'm going to assume that you've watched that because that'll explain the layout of the diary and some of the little basics in there. I'm also going to assume that you've watched the tutorial videos for how to add a quote and how to add a job, because there's different ways of doing those. So I'm just going to use this video to show you some of the extra features that are in there and some of the other things that you can do within the diary. One of the first things that you'll need to do is make sure that your staff are set up. So if we go to the setup menu and choose staff, depending on the edition that you're running, whether it's +2 or +3, that'll determine how many staff you can have, either 2 or 3. Now this has already got one set up as Alan Jr. If I want to add a new one, I can click New, and I can put Chris on as the other user, as the other staff member that's going to have a diary. Now the other facility that we've put in is to the sort of skills that this user's got. So are they able to do quotes and are they able to do jobs? And that just determines whether or not they show on the diary in one of the options that's within the diary that I'll show you in a minute. So I'm just going to show you that Chris isn't able to do quotes, so I'm going to untick the box. So Chris only does jobs, but Alan does quotes and jobs. Okay, so if we close the staff menu down now, and I'm going to go to the diary menu at the top here. And what we've got in here is diary special, diary quote, and diary job. Now, whilst any of these will open the diary and show all the appointments, diary, jobs, quotes, and special bookings on the diary for the day, what this does is it sets the system up ready for that's the type of appointment that you're going to make. And for this example, I'm going to use the diary special. Now, diary special is to make what we call special appointments, and they're appointments that aren't related to any particular client. So that might be, the example I'm going to use is booking a van in for service, and you just want to book the time on the diary and put that note on there. So if we click Diary Special, it opens the diary and it opens at tomorrow. Defaults to open at tomorrow, and it defaults showing all the people that are available. Now you'll notice here in this column we've got the two people, Alan Jr. and Chris, and if I just go in the top box here that currently says all, if we look in there we can choose the skills of the people that we want to look at. So if we want to look at quotes, people that can do quotes, we can choose a quote, and obviously Alan Jr. displays because Chris wasn't qualified to do quotes, and if we choose jobs, obviously it displays both of them because they are. So if I just change that back to all for now, there's a couple of different things you can do in here as well. If you just want to look at Alan Jr.'s diary, there is an option to just click Alan Jr. on this list, and only Alan Jr. will appear. If you just want to look at Chris, you can click Chris's, and only Chris's diary will be visible. If you wanted to look at both, you could hold down the control button and click Alan Jr., and that'll add that to the diary as well. And that also works in the left-hand column here. So if I just want to look at Alan Jr.'s diary, if I click on his name there, only Alan Jr.'s diary will be visible. And again, we can use this box here. If we want to show all, we can change that to all, and all will be visible. Now, if you've seen the video about booking quotes and jobs, you'll see that these buttons on the left-hand side here at the top, there's different buttons appear depending on what function you're trying to do. So in this instance, we're trying to make a special appointment, so there's the button there to book special. If I click that, it now highlights the button at the bottom, select appointment, and I'll explain how you could use that. You can use that in just a few minutes. Now, special bookings we've set to default as flexible appointments, or you can set it as a fixed appointment if you wish. What we want to do is book this van in for service tomorrow. So that's going to be a fixed appointment. So we'll just click the radio button, and that'll tell the system that this is now a fixed appointment that we book in. We can choose from the calendar here, so we can just click Friday the 30th for when the appointment's going to be and the van's going in. And then in the user notes here, we just type what this appointment's for. So I'm going to put in here van service, and then to make the appointment, we just left click and hold the mouse at 12 o'clock. Drag that out to the 4 o'clock because he's going to need it while 4 o'clock. Release, and that now puts the confirm button on. You can double check the details for the appointment that you're putting on. So this is a special appointment. It's for Alan Jr. It's on Friday. It's between 12 and 6. Friday is the 30th. And there is a facility to extend it beyond midnight by ticking this box if you wish. And you'll see how that function works if you try that. So I now know that this is correct. So I click confirm, and that puts the appointment on the diary. Okay. Now there's a few other options in here now. You'll see that the change and the delete buttons have become highlighted, and the select appointment button is turned yellow and highlighted as well. So the select appointment basically means this is yellow, so this is the appointment that we're working with. Let me show you an example of how this can work and how you can change and delete appointments. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to close the diary down, and I'm going to come back into the diary. So I'm going to look at diary, special diary, and I'm going to look at the appointments for Friday. Now you'll see that the select appointment button's highlighted in here, but the appointment here isn't. If I click onto that appointment, that's now selected that appointment. And you'll notice again that the change and delete buttons have appeared. If I want to delete it, I can just click delete, and it will delete the appointment. And this applies to quotations and jobs as well. Or if I want to change the appointment, I can click change, and now again if I want to make changes to the user notes, I can test 2 or something like that because it's going in for the MOT. And let's say that now we want to make that for next month, so instead of Friday we can click through and we can book that in for Tuesday the 4th the following week. I can choose the date, and let's say that's going to be again in the afternoon between 12 and 4. So I left click and hold at 12, drag out to 4 o'clock, click confirm, and that's changed that appointment. So that will have moved from the Friday, and that's now booked for Tuesday the 4th instead. As I say, the change and delete facilities work for the quotes and jobs as well. And also another neat thing with, if you are looking at the diary and there are quotations and jobs on, if you double click on a record, on an appointment, it will take you straight through to the client record that's associated with that appointment as well. You can print out these diaries. So if I wanted to print Alan's diary, I can just click Alan's diary here, so only Alan's is visible. And then in the print and email section here, we've got the facility Diary 1. If you have a look at that on the preview, that will print out a list of appointments down the page with the details of the relevant appointments and the special bookings. If you print Diary 2, that's a graphical view, so it will print what you can see on the screen here at the bottom there. So that will print it as a graphical view. And Diary 3A is for when there's many appointments in here. So if you've got lots of flexible booking quotes and it's going to run off more than one page, Diary 3A will allow you to print multiple pages to allow all the appointments to be displayed. If you've also watched the video about booking quotations or jobs, you'll know that from this button here you'll be able to print various different reports and quotation layouts and job cards and other paperwork that's associated with the job. Okay, so that's it. That's how the diary works, and I think you'll find that it's a very flexible, powerful tool.